So what do you think of what's happened today?
I think it's a very rambunctious group. I think the presentations were moving. The students who were there were enthusiastic, and I think it's one step in a number of steps that the students need to take their message to the people that need to hear it.
And do the undergrads understand that it's a series of steps, or is there? It was a disappointment last year when last year's protest didn't seem to produce the outcome they wanted. Do people lose heart? How do you keep them motivated?
Well, that's a good question. I think that's the key thing, is how do you sustain something, right, so that it becomes an engine for change. But I think it's always a learning process, so I think students learned from last year. And students are not a monolithic whole. There's students who just came along for the day and just left off, but other students who felt compelled to continue it.
What do you think was the principal lesson of last year?
To be more organized.
Would you say that we've succeeded?
I think there's more organization, there's more communication. We have Reverend Lawson with us.
He certainly lends an air of dignity.
Certainly does.
To it. And hearing everyone just,
legitimacy.
They all went so quiet when he was speaking. People were straining to hear his every word. It was really something.
Yes. Well, he's walking history. He's a legend that not too many people know about, but who has done considerably to create change. And he is part of a most successful movement, which was the civil rights movement, that's created so much change in our society. So a successful, I think, model of nonviolent movement.
Have you seen your students' interest come alive after interacting with him?
Yes.
Seeing him up close?
Yes.
Now they get it?
Yes.
It's no longer in a dusty book somewhere?
Yes. I think so. I think it's an inspiration to listen to him. I don't know if you've ever listened to
Today was my first time.
Okay. So he'll be speaking next Wednesday. We have a series of lectures. Next Wednesday is a lecture. He gives workshops too, which he continues to do throughout the country on nonviolent social change. So I think, yes, but there's a lot to learn. You can be inspired, but to really, it's like anything that's worth doing. It takes a while to do. And I think what we all have to learn, not just students, what we all have to learn is that things don't happen overnight. It doesn't happen one day, it doesn't happen in 5 years. It takes a long time. We think, oh, the movements that took place, for example, in Egypt and Tunisia and now Libya.
Yeah, 18 days they toppled the country, right? That's so easy, snap.
But people have been actually working years towards this. They've been reading and studying and talking and meeting secretly. And
right, I've heard that in Libya, 1996 was a crucial year where there was a government massacre that began what culminated here. And in Egypt, it's been going on for at least a decade. Labor strikes have been rising.
Exactly.
Movement
Coming
building.
and going. So they've been so these things take a long time. We all have to realize it and have the patience because we can sometimes be our own worst enemies by just saying, oh, it didn't happen today, so let's move on. Or there's only 300 people. I don't know how many people are here. How much can you estimate at the March part? Because it got kind of bigger at the
Right, it did. We did swell a little bit.
Yeah. How many do you think?
Boy, 500 might be a stretch, but probably we could maybe say 500.
Maybe 500. Okay. So someone say, "Oh, we only had 500 last year. Last year we had 4,000, 5,000. It was big." So someone could be discouraged by that, but I think all movements ebb and flow. All actions come, have a momentum. Nothing is linear, and then we need to understand that and learn from it and move forward. Continue to move forward with a vision that is one of clarity of what we want to change.